We're going to start with review for unit exam 7. The first question asks you to factor. This is a difference of squares. This is a perfect square, and that's also a perfect square. So I'm going to use my shortcut. Okay, this is going to be x plus and x minus, and then the square root of that is 40. 40 times 40 is 1600. Okay, so those are my factors. Letter B says, how many linear factors are there when you factor f of x? Remember when we were doing the names of the degrees of each binomial or each polynomial? If there's no square, if it's just x by itself, or the variable by itself with no power, it's a linear factor. So this is a linear binomial, and this is also a linear binomial because there's no square here or cube or whatever. No power, just the x. So when you're asking me how many linear factors I have this one and that one, so I have two linear factors. How many zeros? So I already factored it, and I can actually solve. Remember that zeros in solutions. So when you solve for x, they mean roots. Okay, they mean x-intercept. So all of these are interchangeable. So I already have the factors, kind of like the rocket problem that we did when we were factoring to solve. And each, I'm going to set to 0 and solve. So this one would be x equals negative 40, and then x equals positive 40. So how many zeros did I get? 2. 2 zeros. Okay? Alright, so number 2 asks us how many zeros do the following functions have. This one is in vertex form. Okay, so I'm going to solve it to see how many zeros. Remember, zeros mean solutions. So I have negative 4x plus 4 squared plus 1. I'm going to set it equal to 0 and start solving, kind of like what we did today in class and your homework that you had yesterday. So I'm going to start doing inverse operations to free the x. I'm going to actually rewrite this piece over here so I have more space. Sorry, I didn't give you enough space there. Okay, so I'm just like rewriting it here. From here, I gotta get rid of that negative 4. I can divide by it. And then I get x plus 4 squared equals a negative divided by a negative is a positive. From here, I'll do my square root. That eliminates those. And so I have x plus 4 equals the square root of 1 and the square root of 4. The reason I divided it is because this is a perfect square right here. So x plus 4 equals square root of 1 over 2. Then minus 4, minus 4. So regardless of what you got here or whether or not you simplified, okay, you're still going to see that you're going to get 2 answers. Minus 4. Sorry, I ran out of room there. Okay? Because of the plus or minus, you're going to get 2 solutions. So over here, I'm going to put 2 solutions, or 2 zeros. Okay? For the next one, number of zeros would be, it says the function of the graph, it translated this many to the left, 3 units down from the parent. So here's the parent. Translated 7 to the left, okay, the vertex here will be 0, 0. The vertex here will be, if it goes from 0 to 7 to the left, it would be negative 7. And 3 units down would be negative 3, so that's a new vertex. So I have to write it with the vertex formula. And it's going to be x, that's going to be my h, and this is my k. So mine is negative 7 squared, and then my k minus 3. That's a plus. Okay? And right here, I am using the vertex formula that is right here, okay? So I'm plugging in the H and the K. The H and the K, okay? So here, in order for me to know how many zeros, I will have to solve it, right? So 0 equals x plus 7 squared minus 3. Okay, and it would be plus 3 plus 3. And then here I will do the square root. That cancels. X plus 7, sorry, in parentheses, equals the square root of 3. Okay, and then minus 7, minus 7. So plus or minus the square root of 3. Minus 7 equals, okay? Because we have the plus and the minus, that means 2 zeros. So here I would put 2 zeros, or solutions, okay, for letter B. For letter C, they don't give us anything, and remember, no calculator. So our best bet is to draw it, graph it. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and graph it. I'm going to like make a quick sketch. Okay, a quick sketch over here. Negative 3, 6 would be somewhere here. Negative 2, 1 would be somewhere here. Negative 1, negative 4 would be somewhere here. Okay, and then 0, 3, 0, negative 3 would be somewhere here. So here you can tell already with the points that I have that the parabola is going like this. It's going to go something like that. Just by having this one, and this one comes back up. So you know that it's symmetrical, so it's going to go back up there. So with that, I don't need to know what the zeros are. I know that there are 2 of them. So 2 zeros for letter C. Okay? For letter D, I'm also going to do a quick graph. Okay? And then I'm going to have, this one might be, I might need a longer one. Negative 2, 1 would be there. Negative 1, 2. Okay, so negative 1, 2 would be there. 0, 5 would be over here. 1, 10 would be somewhere over here. Okay, so you know it's going like this. So the other part of it is probably over here. So no zeros. It doesn't touch the x-axis. For letter D. No zeros, no solution. Okay? Number 3, we got to factor this. What are the roots? What is the sum of the roots? Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and factor it over here. In order to factor, I have to have it equal to 0. So equal to 0 first. Okay? Now I know this is my A, my B, and my C. Okay? So I'm going to factor it. My AC would be negative 30, and my B is 1. So my factors would be 5 times 6. 6 being the negative, because negative 6 plus 5 equals 1. It has to be positive, so this is positive, that's negative. Okay, we need positive 1. positive 1. Okay, so then my factors are going to be these right here. Negative 5x, positive 6. So that means this would be x plus 6, x minus 5. Okay? So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put x plus 6 and x minus 5. I want the roots, so in other words, solutions. So I'm going to equal each to 0 and get those solutions. So x equals negative 6 and x equals 5. So what are the roots? Negative 6 and 5. Sum of the roots. Well, I'm going to have to add these. So negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. Okay? The sum would be negative 1. Alright. On the back, we're going to solve using the quadratic formula. And do not forget the parentheses. So my first step is going to be identifying A, B, and C. A is 3, B is negative 5, C is 1. Okay? Then I'm going to write this over here. X equals negative 5. Okay? So from there, all I have to do is plug in these numbers in here. And then A would be 3, C would be 1, and A is 3. Once you have them, make sure that you have this with the parentheses. Okay? Now we'll do PEMDAS. So we'll have positive 5, okay? This will equal, okay, over here it will equal square root of 13 over 6. Okay? So this will be your answer. For the next problem, we're doing completing the square, just like you did on your homework yesterday. So first, I'm going to set it equal to 0. And then I'm going to move that 9 over so I can have the x's and the constants over here. Okay. After that, I'm going to do my b. My b is negative 4. That I'm going to use later as my shortcut. And then I have to square that b. Okay, and that's what I'm going to use to add to both sides. Okay. So then from here, I'm going to use that shortcut right now. This was a negative 4. So this would be a negative 4 here. Okay, and this will equal, over here will equal 7. Okay? And we are solving. So we're going to go all the way. I'm going to put it back here. And I'm going to solve for x. So the next step would be square root. That cancels out. X minus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 7. You don't have to put the parentheses anymore. Okay. And then we'll do plus 4 plus 4. X equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 7. So those are your two solutions. Okay? Evaluate this for f of 3. So notice how you had, over here this was f of x, and you had x and x. Now I want it to be f of 3, okay? So instead of x, I want 3. So I'm going to write this, and it's going to be 3 plus 1, 3 minus 6. Okay? And then we just do it. Negative 1/2 times 4 times negative 3. Okay? So it's going to be negative 2 times negative 3, so 6. Okay? Number 7, from the parent we have to do all of this stuff. Okay, vertical compression shrink, that means that A is now 3/4. Reflection across the y-axis, nothing happens. Negative inside. And then translation, 5 units up, so the vertex will now be up is in the y, so 0, 5. Okay? So we're going to take this and do all of this to it. So now the A is going to be 3/4. Okay? It's going to be a reflection inside, so inside a reflection, this is going to be HK. And then it's going to be plus 5. Or you can also write it as no, that's not true. I got it, sorry. Just those. Okay? So this one or this one. Okay? And then for the last one, it says, what can be the value of B if the equation here, we're looking for B right here. If it only has one solution. Okay, so you have A, which is 2, B, which is B, we don't know, and then C is 12. One solution. I give you a hint, the discriminant. Okay, if you look at your formula chart, okay, quadratic formula is right here. Inside the quadratic formula, this is a discriminant. Okay? If it's greater than 0, you're going to have two solutions. If it's equal to 0, you're going to have one solution. And if it's less than 0, you're going to have no solution. Okay? So, over here, if it says one solution, that means discriminant has to equal 0. So, B squared minus 4AC must equal 0. There's one solution. We're going to substitute B, we don't know what it is. A is 2, and C is 12. Okay? And then we're going to keep solving. this, we can simplify. Okay, so we have square root of 2 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 2. Okay, 2 in, 1 out, 2 in, 1 out. And inside we have 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? So, in other words, b can equal positive 4 square roots of 6, or b can equal negative 4 square roots of 6. Okay? I know this one was short. I hope this helped. And sorry about sound. Okay, sorry about the sound if it's messed up again. Good luck tomorrow.